Joining us right now to talk more about that is New York Congressman Tom Reed. Good to see you, Congressman. Thanks for joining us. What's your reaction to what took place?
Well, you know, I've always watched the Senate like everyone else, and the problem is you got to get 6 more votes. And it's incumbent upon the Senate to resolve this issue, and they came up short, and they should keep working at it, in my humble opinion.
Well, should the president keep working on it? I mean, I don't know. Surely you've seen the Wall Street Journal op-ed this morning titled "President Miller's Immigration Veto," and the editorial board blames the president for being inflexible on immigration for the failure. They write this. Here's what they write. Whatever happened to the art of the deal?
Please.
If Mr. Trump isn't happy with everything in the Collins-Rounds bill, why not engage? Why not negotiate, Congressman?
Well, I think absolutely. We've been doing this in the Problem Solvers Caucus, for example, where we went to the White House, had numerous conversations with the White House, coming up with a bipartisan proposal that hopefully can see the light of the day in the House. But I think, have to wait until on the Senate to act. And I think the White House wants to do a deal here. They want to get to yes, but they came up 6 short on the closest package. They're going to keep working at this. And the bottom line is, this also tells me that maybe what's going on here behind the scenes, they don't want to solve it. Democrats, Republicans, they want to keep it alive as a campaign issue because for whatever reason they think it appeases their base and their extreme politics.
Well, I guess that's the thing. James Freeman here with the Journal. In terms of trying to figure out what the president's goal here is or his bottom line, it seems like he could have had the deal this week with wall funding, with enforcement, especially against criminals who are here illegally, with some limits on what he calls chain migration. Is he just not going to be satisfied until he reduces substantially even legal immigration?
No, I don't believe so. I mean, obviously, you're touching on some issues that need to be addressed, but you also are going down the path of comprehensive immigration reform, and that's not really what we're talking about here. We're trying to fix the problem for the dreamers, mitigate it so it doesn't happen again in the future, and deal with our border security to make sure that we're keeping American citizens safe. And I think there's a deal there, and I think the White House knows there's a deal there, but the Senate isn't getting to 60. And I would put the question out there to the American people. This is probably more about politics. What do you think about it? Because I think they could have solved it, but they don't want to. And that's where leadership needs to step up and take the lead and get this done for not only these kids, but keep our citizens safe by securing our border.
Well, I mean, he is the president. In terms of leadership, doesn't he have some responsibility here to try and get that 60?
Oh, and you've seen him bring folks down, brought Chuck Schumer down, brought Nancy Pelosi down to the White House. I think they're in communication. But it also shows a tremendous amount of dysfunction in the U.S. Senate. You know, I've been a long advocate for removing that 60-vote barrier down to 51, but the fact is they have to get to 60 votes. That is where compromise in the Senate right now, if they really wanted to get it done, I am confident they would have. Maybe what's going on here is a little bit more about politics than substance.
But in the Senate, Congressman, the amendment that had the best chance of bipartisan support and passing was shot down by the administration in a mid-morning statement, even though it handed the Trump administration a lot of wins on immigration. So the very amendment that had the best shot of passing, the Trump administration and the Journal suggests that it's all Stephen Miller with his hands on the wheel, basically because it doesn't restrict legal immigration.
The point is, Maria, it still didn't get 60. So I don't care if you get 54. I don't care if you get 1 vote. It didn't get 60. So the problem is on the U.S. Senate. If they want to show that they can lead and solve this problem for those dreamers, as well as keep our American citizens safe by fixing some of our border problems, then they'll get it taken care of. But I just don't think that will is there because this is more about politics than actually solving problems.
So is it just his way or the highway? I mean, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, we know it takes 60 votes. The president is the leader of the free world. Is he going to help to get the 60 votes by giving something, giving in on something? What happens to the art of the deal?
Look at where they've already moved, Maria. Look at where they've recognized. They give citizenship positions for Dreamer kids. You're seeing great movement there. That wasn't even. He was offering more citizen opportunity to Dreamers than President Obama. That is a significant move to get a deal done. And I think the opportunity is there. They have to just keep working at it.